Welcome everyone to the second annual Rick Sternberg Memorial Scholarship Duel over here at Reeths High School. I'm John Arter along with Ron Gaffner. We're ready to bring you the college match where the Muskegon Community College Jayhawks will be taking on the Grand Valley Lakers. This should be an exciting match, Ron.
Should be a good match. Grand Valley's got one of the better groups I've seen them have recently, and it's great to be back working with you and looking forward to working with you tonight.
Give us a little bit of background as far as Rick Sternberg. This is the second annual. Last year they held it at Reeths. What is this scholarship for? Tell us a little more.
The Rick Sternberg Scholarship is designed for a student athlete coming out of Reeths High School or to attend either Grand Valley or Muskegon. It should go to first a wrestler from Reeths, and he has the option of either going to Muskegon Community College or to Grand Valley State. If there's not a recipient for that, then it goes to another student athlete from Reeths.
Muskegon Community College is currently ranked 6th in the NJCAA, that's the National Junior College Athletic Association, while the Lakers of Grand Valley State are ranked number 8 in the NCWA, the National Club Wrestling Association, dealing with all the clubs, so both of them nationally ranked.
Correct. And wrestling for Muskegon will be Chris Root. He's a freshman from Lansing Catholic. He's done a great job for us this year. He has a record of 13-13 and placed in the Triton Open and in the Niagara Open. And wrestling for Grand Valley is Evan Space.
Our referee is Fred Schmidt, Reeths alumni, Muskegon Community College wrestler, and was captain of the Central Michigan Chippewas
team, exactly. Yeah.
They tie up right towards center there, just the start of the match.
Chris has a lot of leverage. He's long and lean. He has an excellent cradle, which he's trying to slap on right now.
There's a 2-point takedown for Chris Root of Muskegon.
If he can get his hands locked and slide his hips under, he should be able to get some back points off his cradle. Trying to jam the knee to the head at this point, bringing the knee close to the head so he can get his hands locked.
Little timing difference for college versus high school. They start off with a 3-minute period where high school is a 2-minute period.
Correct. We start out in a neutral position, and then Chris scored a takedown for 2 points right off the bat. And now it's in the top position. There he is. Now
There's the cradle, and he lifts him over.
Got to push his lower knee into his hip and slide his hips away so his back is on the mat. And he should, if he can slide the hips a little farther away, he should be all right. We should get Fred Schmidt on the backside so he could probably see it a little better than where he's at right now. So just a little word of encouragement for Fred.
There's a 3-point near fall for Chris Root, so now he leads 5-0 here in the first period.
I think Chris will again try to tie up the arms, try to cross face, and if possible, lock that cradle back on again and pick up another 3-point near fall and possibly a pin.
Minute 22 left to go here in the first period, 5-0. Chris Root.
Chris has done a real good job for us this year as a freshman. He's won a lot of matches with that cross-face cradle. And we move him around. Sometimes he wrestles 49 for us, sometimes he wrestles 157 for us. He's so long and rangy that, you know, he can do a good job with when we bump him up a weight class. In fact, at the national duels last weekend in Fort Wayne, Indiana, we bumped him all the way to 174 and lost 3-2 to the young man from Iowa. So he's kind of our utility man, and you know, he's really good at getting that cradle locked up. Sometimes he forces it a little too much and gets up high. He's lost a couple matches right at the end because he got a little too high. But overall, he's doing a great job for us as a freshman.
Being longer and lanky gives him a better opportunity to lock up that cradle and lock things up with the legs?
Yes, he's got the leverage, so once he gets those hands locked, then he's got the long reach across the face to lock up the elbow. And right now the Grand Valley boy is just being very defensive, so he can't get that cradle locked up again. He's
very close, very close to getting it again.
Chris just has to be careful not to get too high, get too over anxious for the fall.
And there's the end of the first period. 5-0. Chris Root with a 5-point lead over Evan Space of Grand Valley.
That surprises me because Chris usually likes to take the top position and work that cradle. I'm not sure what the Grand Valley young man is doing.
He's flying into position here.
Come up, get you one. He wants to get up to his feet, break the grip. Up again, high leg over,
Yips into him and gets the 2-point reversal.
Yep, moving from the bottom position to the top position with control is a reversal and is worth 2 points. Again, he's forcing that cross-face cradle. Trying to get that elbow locked up. The Grand Valley man is just trying to stay out of trouble at this point. Just a little anecdote for you. The wrestler from Grand Valley,
Pardon me?
the young man wrestling from Grand Valley,
Yes.
is the same age as the coach. He's 34 years old.
So he's not in his early 20s like
No.
many of the
He's
Jayhawk wrestlers.
come back to college to finish up his degree and wanted to be part of the wrestling team. So at
Very admirable.
Yep, at 34 years of age, it's a little harder to get back into shape.
Definitely.
He's not a highly conditioned athlete like you and I.
I would not want to go for 7 minutes right now on that mat.
As long as you're on top, putting the cradle on, you're all right. It's when you get on the bottom, it's no fun.
That's when you try to struggle and your heart rate ramps up.
Yeah.
30 seconds left to go here in the second period. A 7-0 lead for Muskegon's Chris Root.
At this point, you could warn the Grand Valley wrestler for stalling because he's making no effort to get off the bottom. He's just trying to stay off his back.
Collegiate wrestling is much more quicker paced as far as the stalling, getting the stalling warnings versus in high school.
Yes. It would normally be hit a lot quicker as far as no effort on the bottom man to improve his position.
As is the fall, or most people know it as the pin. The pin is a lot quicker, 1 second versus 2 in high school.
That's Russ Swanson, former national champion, 118-pounder for us, always asks me that question. Coach, what's the ultimate? I said, to win. He said, no, it's to pin. And there's Russ sitting over there in the front row, an avid Jayhawk fan.
National champ from Fruitport.
Try that half. There we go.
Flipped him over against the half. And there's the pin. The pin is at 5:08 of the third period.
Put the Jayhawks up 6-0.
Chris Root with the pin. We move on to the 157-pound weight class. Tyler Sternberg will be wrestling for the Jayhawks, and he'll be taking on Bailey Bisher of Grand Valley.
Tyler Sternberg, we're moving him up a weight class, and he's ranked number 3 in the country right now at 149. Has a record of 21-3, and has been first in the Niagara and Muskegon Open, and second in the Trine Open, and first at the Triton Open. He finished 6th in the nation for us last year at 149. And Bailey Bisher is from Yale High School in Yale, Michigan, and was a high school state place winner last year. He's a freshman for Grand Valley. Tyler's a sophomore for us from Reese Buffer High School and Twin Lake.
Whizzer put in.
Yep, he's got some leverage.
Bisher.
Grand Valley's going to have some leverage.
No points as of yet. Oh, they do have a 2-point takedown. 2-point takedown and the 1-point escape.
Banged heads and collided heads right there. Both shot at the same time and ended up banging heads together. So it's 2-1 Grand Valley advantage. Like I say, Bisher's long and lean, and he was a high school place winner last year. Tyler's probably given away probably 10 or more pounds. So he's scrappy. Tyler's
Looking
very
for
confident.
fireman's.
Yep, he's very confident with his short fireman's or dunk as a rule, and he's persistent with it.
You go off the edge of the mat.
The difference in high school and college wrestling is that you can score points out of bounds in college. In other words, if you put an individual on his back out of bounds, you can still pin him if you have 1 foot in bounds. So there only has to be one supporting point for either of the wrestlers. There it is. Nice step over. There's 2.
2-point takedown.
Yep. Tyler's got a great set of hips. Sometimes it even gets him into trouble because he'll step over hips, and that's a golden rule in wrestling is if you don't step over your opponent's hips. But he seems to get away with it most of the time. Last week against Ellsworth, Iowa, he lost in overtime because he stepped over the hips and got caught. But normally he's got a real nice tilt series, and that's where he's going right now as he wants to tip the Grand Valley wrestler to his back and get exposure points.
Tyler had the chicken wing, now he changes it back to an arm bar.
Tyler's very scrappy, like I say. He's actually going to be cutting down to 141 for us for the Nationals.
And he's wrestling 2 weight classes above the 141 right now.
Right, so he's wrestling at 157, which, there it is. Oh, he's too big, Tyler. He can't do it. He wants to throw it. The Grand Valley wrestler.
1 point escape.
Yep, ties the match up. It might be a little too long and lean for Tyler to tilt. It looks like Bailey wants to try and hit a throw if he can. There's a nice duck under. There's a nice duck under for 2.
And no points given at this point.
Oh. Should have been 2 points. The weight went down on the hands and only has to go down just 1 second for sporting points. You see, he's still got 1 toe in bounds, and that's why he can still score points. He's got to bring him in bounds. There it is.
And they go off the edge. No points.
Tough call there. I think we should have had 2 because the sporting weight went on the Grand Valley wrestler's hands, and that's all it has to do. So he hit him with a real nice duck under and didn't get any points for it. There it is again.
Saw the opening and couldn't quite finish. 9 seconds left in the first period. There's a shot by Tyler.
So Tyler's got to realize he's giving away some size and weight here. So
There's the end of the first period.
If he would have hooked the heel right there, he would have had 2 points takedown. All you have to do is secure the opponent's ankle.
After 1 period of wrestling, 3-3 between Tyler Sternberg and Bailey Bisher of Grand Valley. Bisher chooses the down position to start the second period. And a quick 1 point escape by Bisher.
Tyler's having trouble with his leverage. He's so long that Tyler's used to wrestling guys a little lighter where he can get away with stuff.
Ooh, little fireman's there and goes right to a single leg.
He's got a circle and hook over the top.
No control.
No points yet.
And they go off the
Good
edge.
scramble by both wrestlers. Good position.
Minute 22 left, second period. 4-3 lead for Bisher.
Get that rocket out of the way. Should be hit for stalling pretty soon. Tyler's taking all the shots. He's got a circle and hook on the ankle. Got a circle on the leg, hook the ankle. There you go. Now limp arm. No, it's not.
No points
yet. No control yet. There's
and
2.
he comes around behind. There's a 2 point takedown. 42 seconds left, second period. Tyler Sternberg.
Go ahead. Tyler's pretty strong on top, but it's just giving away that weight and that leverage right now. So he's got to be careful with his tilt. He's trying to force that tilt.
Well, you talk about the weight
There it
run.
is. He's trying to force it again.
Going for that tilt to bring some
too
round.
big.
He rolls right through.
There's points. There's 2 points. There's got a 2 count there. 2 near fall for Tyler. All he has to do is hold him there for 2 seconds, a 2 count. Then he'll get 2 points, and if he holds him for a 5 count, he'll get 3 points.
3 seconds left in the period. And there's the end of the period. 4 more points for Tyler Sternberg, and he takes a 7-4 lead heading into the third and final period. And we have a short timeout as a little bit of blood there as Tyler Sternberg has No blood, and we have our assistant here, Bruce Carroll, helping the assistant help clear the way so we can get a good view of the mat.
Exactly. Bruce, another former Jayhawk All-American, strong supporter of the program.
Yes, he wrestled for the Jayhawks, lives up in Montague.
His claim to fame is that he's one of the wrestlers that I unfortunately had to leave behind one time when we were going to a tournament because there seemed to be, his watch didn't seem to function well that day. But
that's his claim to fame?
That's his claim to fame for being one of the only wrestlers I ever left home.
But he is a proud Buckeye.
He is a Buckeye. He is so happy right now with his Buckeye National Championship.
Go Bucks.
Go Bucks, as Bruce would say.
Start of the third period. Bisher on top, Sternberg on bottom. Bisher puts in the legs.
This is where Tyler's got to be careful because sometimes he will expose his back trying to get away. So he's got to get that leg over. Yep, he's got to get that leg out of between his legs because right now the young man from Grand Valley will force that power half and try to get back a couple of those back points.
And he's only down by 3, 7-4 right now, and a 5 count would tie the match.
Yeah, Tyler needs to get off the bottom before he gets in trouble.
Looks like he's kicked that leg out a little bit.
Yeah. He's just got to shift him over the top. He's got to get that knee back on the mat. Got to control the hands and move his feet so he can get off the bottom.
1:08 left to go in the match.
And again, this is where the young man from Grand Valley has an advantage because of his leverage and length. So he's trying to force that half. He's got to get that half off. He's got to be careful of that shoulder. That's what the referee's signaling is potentially dangerous. So he needs to.
And he makes the top wrestler cognizant of it.
Right. At that point, if the Grand Valley's there, that's a stalemate situation, meaning that neither wrestler was improving their position, so they go back and start fresh on the whistle. Because if nothing is occurring for 15 to 20 seconds with either wrestler, it's going to be treated as a stalemate.
37 seconds left to go in the match, 7-4.
Tyler should have been exploding up to his feet instead of sitting down on the bottom.
Once again, Bisher gets his
legs in.
Yep.
He's pretty solid on top, and Tyler's just got to stay out of trouble for the next 25 seconds. And again, Tyler's a pretty smart wrestler. He's been wrestling a long time, so he'll basically just try to keep his position there.
Stalemate again. He did well at Reese Buffer too, didn't he?
Yes, he did. He was third in the state for Reese Buffer in high school. He was a 2-time state place winner. He's done a great job for us. Last year as a freshman, he beat a young man at the national tournament that he had beaten him during the year to get in for the All-American round.
Bisher automatically
gave him one escape. Gave him one escape. He's trying to get big points.
And no points as the match ends. And Tyler Sternberg comes away with an 8-4 decision for the Jayhawks.
If you take a look at the size differences, considerable size difference.
That's a great feat by Tyler Sternberg.
It was, and he's very flexible in the shoulder, so he was fortunate at the end there because Bailey was starting to get good position to put him over on his back.
We move on to the 165-pound weight class. Tobias Barnes will be wrestling R.J. Smith of Grand Valley. We saw Tobias Barnes earlier, and he was drinking water.
Yeah,
it's the lightest thing you can drink.
He's trying to move up a weight class too, and he's ranked #1 in the country. He's got a great shot, and he's been very successful for us this year as a freshman. It's a record of 22-7. He was third in the Muskegon Open, fourth at the Trine Open, and third at the Triton Open. So Tobias is having a good season for us as a freshman. He's out of Summit Academy over in Romulus. And his opponent,
R.J. Smith out of Grand Valley.
And R.J. is, I think, a sophomore or junior from Yale High School, and he was a 3-time high school state place winner. So he's got pretty good credentials too, and he looks pretty thick and pretty solid too. So Tobias is going to have to, TJ's going to have to beat him with his quickness like that. You know, he needs to get the leg. He's got to move him now, get off the leg. He's got to get off that leg. He can't stay on it. There it is. Put your hands on the mat. 2.
And they go off the edge with no control. They'll start back at center, neutral position.
Good scramble by each of them. TJ is very good at getting in on the high crotch single. He's just got to get a little more effective at finishing it and getting his 2-point takedown, because he loses a lot of takedowns because he goes from the leg up around the back, and that gives the other boy a chance to put a whizzer in and get a counter.
And go off the edge. And as far as TJ, you're referring to Tobias Barnes because he's wrestling RJ. So don't want to confuse the viewers here.
We'll stick with Tobias then.
So no points as of yet. 1:37 left to go here in the first period.
He's trying to get, Tobias is trying, TJ's trying to get inside control so he can hit that high crotch again.
They'll work back towards the center of the mat.
Again, working for hand control and position. Grand Valley tries a short drag, trying to set up a single leg attack. Tobias comes back with another attack. Tobias likes to work off that underhook.
And there's 2 moves. There is a short drag and a long drag. Usually a long drag, you say, hey, complete the move and do the long drag.
Long drag will get you in trouble more off. Short drag, you want to be closer to your opponent and closer to his hips.
Okay.
Long drag, you kind of fade away and the guy has a chance to step over. Pretty soon, Grand Valley, I think he should get hit with stalling because he really hasn't taken very many offensive shots than we have. When he takes a token shot there.
Our referee, French Schmidt, maybe still trying to shift gears into collegiate from high school.
Things happen a little quicker here.
Yes, they do.
And the counters are a lot better. You have to be kind of patient when you make your call so that you don't make the call too soon.
Partial shot there by Tobias.
Again, we're on the offense, which is good.
Still no score. 20 seconds left to go, first period. RJ trying to control the arm. Has that the right wrist of Tobias.
I think they'll both be content now to finish out the period with no score.
2 seconds left. And that'll do it. As you mentioned, scoreless match here after 1 period of wrestling.
Grand Valley State's choice, and they took the down position. They'll work to get an escape and get back on their feet again.
Tobias on top.
Oh, if he can get that cradle lock, he's trying to get that cradle off. He gets,
nearly had it. But he does.
He should have continued to try to lock his hands. He gets the head and then gives up on locking the hands in the crotch.
RJ gets up to his feet, spins, and gets the 1-point escape. 1-0, RJ Smith with a slight lead here in the second period. There's a shot there by Tobias.
He's got to get the leg out in front of him now. He's got to step off of that leg. Don't leave it in between the legs.
Tobias trying to chip through, and RJ holds on to the whizzer. Now he goes down, and there's a 2-point takedown.
Referee Schmidt a little slow in calling that because as soon as he's secured the outside leg, it's an automatic 2 points. So yeah, he's trying to adjust back from high school, and he's adjusting a little slow.
In the same night.
Yes.
2-1. Tobias with the lead. A quick sit out.
Snap down. Get off the leg. He's got to get the leg on. Got to get off that leg.
Will they call that a stalling if you just stay on the leg, Ron? Is that what you're referring to?
Yes, the referee should be counting it right now. There's a nice finish.
Brings him right back down to the floor.
Well, there's one toe in bounds, but there was no, they're on the edge of the mat, and there was no progression, so he broke.
Decided to bring him back towards center with 50 seconds left to go here.
He gave him a fresh start. I'm not sure where the riding time clock is.
There's a little roll, and Tobias stays right with him.
Looking for a snap down. I'm looking for the riding time clock, but I don't see it. It should have been a riding time clock.
30 seconds, you gotta score.
If he can hold him here and hold his 2-1 lead, then he'll probably take the down position in the third period, hoping to get an escape and get a 3-1 lead. He's got to pick him up now. He's got to pick him up.
18 seconds left in the second period.
Our goal is to hold him down for that 18 seconds if we can. Right there, snapping back if he could. Get on a wrist. You got to get a wrist. You got to get a wrist right now. Right there. Got to hang on right there and hold him and run him. Keep him moving, keep him moving, keep him moving.
And they go off the edge. 3 seconds left. You talk about the snapback. Michelle Foster did pretty good with that in the Nationals, didn't he?
He did. He snapped the guy back in the first period and pinned him from Lassen, California, and was voted the outstanding wrestler of the national tournament.
Another Muskegon Community College Jayhawk winning the national title.
Been very fortunate over the years. But yeah, Michelle just had really explosive hips, and he could just explode at any time and hit the big move.
2-1 after 2 periods of wrestling here. Tobias Barnes with the 1-point lead. R.J. Smith will be on the top. As you mentioned, Tobias chose the bottom.
He'll come up. He wants to come up quick, get those feet apart, come up to his feet. There you go. Get on the hands, pull it off his ankle, and get his one.
There's a quick 1-point escape. And it's a 3-1 lead for Tobias.
The key for Tobias now is to stay on his offense and not try to hold on to that 3-1 lead. He needs to score another takedown. And it looks like R.J. Smith from Grand Valley likes the upper body stuff, so he'll be looking for the big explosive move where he's going to hit a throw.
Tobias controlling that left wrist.
There it is. Nice shot, change off.
And he cannot finish as they go off the edge of the mat.
Tobias has that real nice high crotch setup, and once he changes off that double, he's able to lift and get the advantage as far as the takedown is concerned. Right now he wants to work for inside control. He needs to stay on the offense. He can't back up. He has to circle and stay in the circle, and it's all position right now.
There's a shot by Smith, and they go off at the edge of the mat before he can complete that shot. 1:02 left to go here in the match, 3-1. Tobias
Again,
Barnes.
Tobias wants to get an offense. He wants to get a good inside control, so he's inside the elbows of his opponent so that he can attack and penetrate on the legs easier. Right there, snap down front headlock. He's got to control the front headlock now. If he can control that front headlock, he can score his takedown. Tobias should have taken a reshot as Grand Valley guy stood up to his feet. The Muskegon wrestler should have been on the offense, attacking the high crotch, trying to score.
28 seconds left, third period.
Sprawl, control the head, re-attack, reshot. Right there, he can feel the pressure coming. He sprawls those legs back, but he's got to control that front headlock to score.
10 seconds left.
Right there, control the head, get your two, slide behind,
Around.
there's two.
He's behind him now, and before he can bring him to the mat for a takedown, the time expires.
Yep, he should have locked and lift and pick him up off his feet. He would have got his two.
A 3-1 decision for Tobias Barnes for the Jayhawks, giving the Jayhawks a 12-0 lead here after 3 matches. We move on up to the 174-pound weight class. Devon Jackson will be wrestling for the Jayhawks, and he'll be wrestling against Trent Hunt.
Yeah, Devon Jackson from Muskegon Community College is a freshman for us. He has a 15-5 record and ranked number 5 in the country. First in Muskegon Open, second in Trine, and 6th injury default at the Niagara tournament. Trent Hunt is a state runner-up from Gaylord High School, and he's pretty good, pretty solid. He looks like he's pretty big. This is where Devon likes to work, though, is in the upper body. He has great hips, and he has 9 pins for us this year. But there he is. He hooks the heel, gets his 2-point takedown.
Nice 2-point takedown there.
Now he's trying to force that cradle and have a tendency to get a little high sometimes, so he has to be careful about that.
In high school, Devon wrestled where, Ron?
He at Bay City Central High School.
Okay.
And from Bay City, placed third in the state as a junior, and then dislocated his elbow as a senior. Wrestled with a dislocated elbow and still qualified for the state tournament after the regionals with a dislocated elbow. But his tendency is to sit on his hips a little too much like he is now, and sometimes gets himself in trouble and exposes his back a little more than we'd like him to at times.
He has the legs in, trying to work on that left arm, a little bit of a power half.
He'll try to usually put both heels in and get control of his opponent's hips, and then try to, right now he's in trouble because he's up high with nothing hooked. So he's got to stay under those arms and get those legs inside his opponent's. Right now he's putting himself in a dangerous position. He always feels comfortable there, but he always makes us nervous because he's laying on his side and exposing his own back. Right now he needs to force that power half, pull that elbow up. And again, like now he's high. He's got to dig that heel back into the crotch.
From a coaching standpoint, you can see where you get a little nervous that, you know, the opponent, all he needs to do is pop his head out and you either have an escape.
You say he makes us a little nervous at times because he gets so high. Grand Valley State's got some physical specimens. They look like they're athletes. You can tell they're all about 10 pounds heavier than our guys because we all moved up a weight class. But
makes quite a difference.
Yeah,
the Jayhawks decided to move up a weight class because of what reason?
We don't have a 174-pounder Mason Cartwright from Shelby.
Right.
He's not in the lineup right now, so we had to bump everybody up one weight class in order to fill the weight classes.
And we have a stalemate here with 45 seconds left in the first period. Hey, Ron, we want to thank that MCC TV crew doing a great job tonight. We have Brighton Worrell and also Cade Messenger here from Muskegon Community College. The MCC TV crew giving you great shots and great audio for Jayhawk Wrestling.
Yeah, they've been doing a great job for us for a long time. They've been telecasting our matches for a long time and always do a real good job.
There's a 1-point escape for Hunt.
And there it is, turn hard and you'll get your points. There you are, 2 points.
2-point takedown, 4-1.
The leg goes in again, he's a little high again. He's got to get under that arm and force, there it is. Extend that arm and get some back points. There it is. Right there. There's points.
It's past the 90, but no counting. And the time runs out.
That's usually right there if Devon gets him in that position. He's got such strong hips that if he can get those locked in there.
No points awarded there, Ron. So it's 4-1. Devon Jackson with a 3-point lead over Trent Hunt. We enter the second period.
Trent Hunt chooses the neutral position, thinking he can still take Devon down. Devon's gotten 2 takedowns on him, but he feels more comfortable on his feet. So therefore, oops, a little too far out on that shot. He's got to bring his hips with him when he takes his shot. So we've got to work for inside control. There's the short drag. He's got to be ready for that. He's got to square up and get the angle. Oops, too far out.
There's a 2-point takedown, and then they roll
2 reversal. One escape. All right, good call by the referee. He got caught on the headlock.
So 2-point takedown, 2-point near fall, and a 1-point escape for Devon Jackson.
Ties the score at 5-5. That's the one thing Devon has to be careful about because he wants to go upper body and he's going up a weight class again.
He's giving up 10 pounds.
He needs to
normally
bring that in.
165
There he
pounder.
is up on the hip again. He's got to lock his hands and pull the shoulder down.
A whizzer being put in by Hunt.
There's limp arm, 2 takedown.
2-point takedown.
That limp arm that he just did is the way that's the way Fred Schmidt lost his national title. He got limp arm by a kid in the national finals. So Fred's seen that move before.
Up close and personal.
Up very close, twice.
40 seconds left in the second period. Jackson giving up 10 pounds, but he sure looks like the quicker of the two. He's very cat quick.
He just has a tendency to relax a little bit on top at times.
.28 seconds left, 7-5. Devon Jackson with a 2-point lead here in the second period. Our referee, Fred Schmidt, has total control of this match. The knowledgeable Fred.
This is where Devon just wants to tie up his wrist, keep control of his wrist for 20 seconds and take the 7-5 lead into the third period. Whereas the other guy is trying to set up his roll. There he goes. He's going to crank it again and try and get a couple.
Past 90 degrees.
It should be points right there.
No counting as of yet.
There it is.
There's one. There's 2 count. Well, did he get the 2 count or no?
Yes, he did.
As we run out of time here.
There's
the 2-point near fall.
The action should take down now, so he can work for the reversal or the escape.
Jackson winning that second period 5-4, so the total score is 9-5, a 4-point lead for Devon Jackson as we enter the third and final period.
He cannot stay on the bottom. He has to move and try to get up to the neutral position or hit a side roll. He's got to turn into him because he's got good strength,
There's
good
at
power.
least one there for the escape.
He wants that cradle.
And
got the two.
A 2-point reversal, and now he's got the cradle. And there's the pin.
And that's why Devon Jackson has 10 pins for us this year out of 15 wins.
That pin comes at 5:22 of the match. 6 points for the Jayhawks, and an 18-0 lead here after 4 matches.
Coming up for the Jayhawks at 184.
Levante Purdue.
Purdue, he's ranked number 10 in the country right now. He has a record of 18-8. He's third in the Muskegon Open, first in the Niagara Open, and third in the Triton Open. And he will be wrestling Eric Dietz from Lockport Township High School in Lockport, Illinois. He was a 2014 NCAA All-American at 174. So he was an All-American for the club teams. Levante has been wrestling 197 for us all year, and it's gone down to 184 because our 197-pounder Fauché is back in the lineup. Donovan was 4th in the country for us last year at 197, so Levante has gone down to 184.
Partial shot there by Dietz, and a shot right back there.
Levante's very powerful. If he get in that single leg, he usually can finish it.
Well, he's right after that right leg right now. Dietz.
If he can buckle the outside knee or buckle the hips down, he should get his 2.
Leans into
there
him.
It is, 2.
Keeps the feet in bounds. There's a 2-point takedown for Purdue.
There it is. Dietz, I think, is a junior for Grand Valley State University, so he's been around, he's got experience. Levante is a freshman for us. He has continued to improve all season long, and he's done a great job for us at 197. He went 3-2 last weekend at the National Duels in Fort Wayne, Indiana. He lost an 8-6 to Iowa Lakes man that he was controlling most of the match, and then just got escape and takedown right at the end.
That's fantastic, giving up 10 pounds too,
right,
and having a 3-2 record. There's a 1-point escape for Dietz. 2-1, Purdue with a 1-point lead.
This is where Levante has to stay on his offense. He gets kind of complacent at times, and he's very, very quick on his feet, and he's very strong once he gets in on that single leg shot. But sometimes he has a tendency to go a little bit defensive at times. Like Dietz just popped him in the nose, so maybe that'll get him a little more excited.
Wake him up. 1 minute left to go here in the first period. There's a shot by Dietz coming around from behind is Purdue, and a 2-point takedown.
Again, I would like to see referee Fred Schmidt react a little quicker to the call in college, because as soon as Dietz's hands hit the mat, the support of his weight, it was 2. Fred's like a kind of a slow motion call, like, you know.
Fred's getting up in years, though.
He is.
So,
He's the same age as you, isn't he?
well, not up too high years. I guess he is the same age as me, and we're not quite to your age yet.
Because I didn't think you were getting up in the years, John. I still think of you as a young man. You know,
Yeah.
For you to say that Fred's getting up in age really surprised me because being the young, vibrant
Whippersnapper.
person that you are, it surprised me that you.
18 seconds left to go here in the first period.
Where he's got to keep his hands locked, control the leg. Again, sets him on his hip, drive into it.
And they go off the edge. They'll start at center with 8 seconds left in the first period.
Again, Levante is very quick and very agile. For 197, 184 pounder. He might get up there. He's also very strong.
And he controls them as we finish out the first period. A 4-1 lead for Levante Purdue.
It appears that the young tapper there tells time is up, enjoys swatting the referee pretty well with that towel. He'll work to get his escape now.
Purdue starts in
Get
the
up to his
bottom
feet.
position.
Yep, get up to his feet. Work on the hands, control the hands.
Dietz trying to bring him back down.
Back up again. He needs to go right back up again.
And he works towards a roll. They go off the edge. They'll start towards center. 1:45 left, second period.
The assistant coach for Grand Valley State University, John Sanderson, is a former Jayhawk that went on and wrestled at Grand Valley when it was a collegiate sport over there. And then the other assistant is Kyle Hoare, and he's wrestled for Grand Valley's club team and was an All-American for them. So they have a very good coaching staff over at Grand Valley.
A 1-point escape for Purdue, so he now leads by 4, 5-1.
Yep, this is where he needs to stay on his offense. He has a tendency to kind of try to protect the lead instead of trying to increase the lead. So sometimes that's where he got in trouble last weekend at Iowa Lakes, is that he didn't stay on the offense.
Dietz unable to make anything happen with that 2-on-1 on the left arm.
Yeah, I think Levante might be a little stronger than he is, and it's hard for him to try to force Levante into a position where he can score against him. Again, he's got to be careful about pushing in too hard. The young man from Grand Valley, Dietz, could hit a duck under, and then Levante's momentum would carry him right on past, and he might get taken down.
Ten seconds left.
Comes the tapper. Let's see if he takes a pretty good swing at the referee.
There's a shot by Dietz, and Purdue
shot.
tries to go around behind. Not quite
Levante
get
tried the reshot.
And there's the end of the second period. The 1-point escape was the only point that period, so it's a 5-1 lead for Levante Purdue.
Levante's got a pretty tight waist if he chops that arm and gets the wrist. And make it a little tougher for Dietz to get up. There you go. He's got the cross wrist now. So he should have control of his hips. He's just got to force him forward, keep hand fighting him, get control of Dietz's hands.
Dietz trying to get up to his feet, which he does. Trying to turn into him, and there's a 1-point escape for Dietz.
Levante made him work pretty hard for that one. Hopefully he took some energy out of him. This is where Levante has to get back on the offense.
A 3-point lead with 1:20 left to go in the match. Purdue. Looks for that opening. He likes to counter and come around after Dietz shoots. because of his
Both
quickness.
of them are starting to pop each other a little bit in the head. We got to make sure the referee keeps that under control. Oh, right there's a little headbutt. There's some good sportsmanship there. Dietz kind of popped Levante in the nose with his head, and Levante said, no problem, no problem. No, it was an accident.
45 seconds left in the match.
There's a reshot, nice reshot. Grand Valley State tried to drag, and Levante redragged and got the 2-point takedown. Nice reaction, very athletic.
2 more points makes it 7-2, a 5-point lead with 18 seconds left in the match, and there's a 1-point escape.
Levante lets him go. Grand Valley will come, try to hit the big move. There's a nice slide by Levante. 2 takedown.
2-point takedown again.
Real nice slide by.
1 second left, and that's it. 9-3, a 6-point win for Levante Purdue. 3 more points for the Jayhawks, and it's 21-0 after 5 matches.
Nice job by Levante. Had 2 nice reshots where the young man from Grand Valley took the offensive shot, and he countered and reshot and got the 2-point takedown.
We move on to the 197-pound weight class. Donovan Boucher wrestling for the Jayhawks, and he'll be wrestling Dan Tomasello.
Yeah. Donovan Boucher is currently ranked number 8 in the country. He has a record of 7-0. He just started competing for us the second semester. He was 4th in the nation for us last year. And Tomasello is from Addison Trail High School in Addison, Illinois. And I think he is a sophomore. I believe he was with them last year. He looks pretty big and strong too, so it'll be interesting to see what happens here.
A little bit of a reach, nothing there. Both wrestlers feeling each other out here early in the neutral position to start the match. Jayhawks coming off a nice appearance in the national duels, Ron. They finished 7th out of 16 teams.
Right.
It's just something fantastic to get invited to that.
Right, and all the teams there were nationally ranked teams, and we did well. We competed well. Again, last week we were moving some individuals up weight because we did not have Courtright last week either, and we don't have anybody at 133, so we were behind 12-0 every match. So we were able to
make up. That's tough to make up in collegiate wrestling.
It is.
But the Jayhawks were able to do that. And
yeah, we felt good about the weekend. We thought we could have beaten Iowa Lakes. We lost a couple one-pointers and got caught in the cradle. That was a 9-point swing. And then Zach Cooper, 141-pounder, who's ranked number 1 in the country, was upset by a wrestler from Iowa Lakes, and that was another 6-point swing. So. But I'm real proud of the guys. They did a great job last week and competed very well for the deficit we had as far as points going into the matches. Donovan, for a big kid, has a pretty good high crotch, and maybe we're getting to see that inside leg attack. Right there, he just overpowered him. He got behind the arms, and that is 2.
2-point takedown.
Because he's under behind both elbows and got the inside leg laced.
And they go off the edge of the mat. Tomasello unable to get away, so Fouché still on top with a 2-0 lead.
We'll try to tie him up with a spiral ride. What the Grand Valley young man is trying to do when they're saying knee slide, is to slide his knee up and try to bring himself up to his feet. Donovan is very powerful on top with that tight waist ride and that wrist ride. So he's putting a lot of pressure on. He stays up on his toes to keep the weight on his toes and keep the young man from Grand Valley flat on his stomach as much as possible.
15 seconds left to go here in the first period.
Trying to slide that knee up again.
Tomasello unable to get away Fouché at the edge of the mat with 3 seconds left.
Got his feet out in front. He was trying to slide away for one, and Donovan was trying to catch the chin and snap him to his back.
A 2-0 lead for Fouché of Muskegon.
Grand Valley chooses the neutral position, thinking he could still score the takedown, tie this match up. He didn't want to go down because he didn't think that he might not be able to get away from Fouché. Donovan's usually pretty solid. He's always got pretty good position. He's improved immensely in the last year.
Well, fourth in the nation isn't bad, and then to improve on that is fantastic.
Yeah, we hope so. We hope he goes a couple of steps higher this time.
Like 3 steps higher.
Yes. 197 will be a real tough weight class at Nationals.
Sure.
The runner-up from last year is back. The third place finish from last year is back. And the national champion is back.
Well, you mentioned last year's national champ from Clomacus went to the duels, and he didn't fare too well there.
No, Adrian Salas, who's a 184-pounder for Clackamas, Oregon, was a national champ last year, ranked #1 in the country this year, and he lost 4 matches. Lost all 4 of his matches last week at the national duels.
Shows you some of the competition
Yeah.
that everybody was facing last weekend.
There's a young man from Iowa Central that was at Nebraska and got in some trouble, and so he got kicked out of school and ended up at Iowa Central. And he's a 4-time Maryland state champion, and he's the real deal.
So if you get in trouble, you end up at Iowa Central?
Yes. It seems to work out that way quite often.
Kind of like Florida State in football?
Kind of. Yep. That'd be a good analogy right there.
Okay. 14 seconds left to go here. Second period still 2-0. Fouché with a 2-point lead.
Grand Valley boy is solid. He keeps good position, and it's hard to get inside on Donovan.
And there's the end of the period. Still 2-0. No points awarded in that second period. Now Fouché will start in the down position.
He's usually pretty good about exploding up and getting up to his feet. Not much motion there. Should have been a step up. He went for the switch, and he needs to get his slide his knee. Woo, pretty good crossface there. Maybe that'll wake him up a little bit. He needs to slide up to his knees, get a base under himself, pressure back in, and step up to his feet. There he goes. Kick. He needs to kick it free. Switch, hard.
The legs, and then a quick switch there, and a nice move.
That's
by
2. He's
Fouché.
on his hip.
2-point reversal. And they go off the edge with 1:22 left to go in the match.
Good switch, reversing position from bottom to top, getting his 2-point reversal by driving through. He attacked the leg and drove through and scored. Looks like Grand Valley's going to have a pretty strong club team this year. We've got, I think, one young man that's not here tonight that's pretty good. He was an All-American for him, Spanovich at 165. But looks like they're pretty solid up and down the line. So they'll be very competitive at that club team level.
Fouché keeps that pressure on him.
Yeah, he's tough on top. He bars that arm and gets it up on the back, and they're very strong, very tight waist.
Tomasello gets up to his base. 40 seconds left in the match. Fouché just spins right around, stays right on top. And they go off the edge. 30 seconds left.
Fouché's good with that re-switch. When Tomasello switches his hips out and gets his legs out, he's real good about re-switching and following around.
Tomasello sits back, and he almost was snapped back by Fouché. Gets back to his base with 20 seconds left.
To keep his weight on his hands, that's it. Just keep forcing him forward. Break him down to his hip. get a cross wrist now, and that'll pretty much end the match if he controls his wrist.
3 seconds left. And that'll do it. A 4-0 decision. Donovan Fouché over Dan Tomasello. 3 more points for the Jayhawks. A perfect 24-0 so far for the Jayhawks after 6 matches. Now we move up to the 285-pound weight class.
Omar Canales for Muskegon and Miguel Correa for Grand Valley State University. Our regular heavyweight had class tonight, so he's not here. And, so we're using Omar Canales, who's our backup heavyweight. And for Grand Valley, it's Miguel Correa, and he's a 2-time Michigan High School All-Stater. So he's got some credentials. He's from Holland West Ottawa High School. Same high school that Coach Tiedemann is from. And Omar is from Saginaw, Arthur Hill, from Saginaw, Michigan. He's giving away a little size too. I'm guessing Korea's probably 265, 270, and Omar's probably 235. So we'll see how this one goes.
Years ago, at this weight class, it used to be unlimited. Now that you can't weigh any more than 285.
Correct. There used to be a couple national champions that were 400 pounds plus. One of the most famous is Chris Taylor.
Yes, sir.
Who was a national champion from Muskegon Community College and was a 2-time undefeated national champion for Iowa State University. So
wrestled in the Olympics.
Yep. And was third, won the bronze medal. And then they had another young man, Tab Thacker from North Carolina State. There was a national champ that was about 480.
Chris Taylor wrestled the Russian Alexander Medved that did the souffle.
Yep.
And everybody thought that was amazing to bring a 400-pound person and go straight backwards.
It's a real good job for Omar Canales. He had Correa had the single leg up in the air, and he hand fought him and put some pressure on his head. And now he needs to jerk him down to the mat, bring him down to the mat. There it is. Now if he can snap him, there it is.
Grabs the leg, leans into him, keeps that
nice
foot
ankle
on
kick, can't quite pull it in.
And they'll start back at center with 1:11 left to go here in the first period.
Omar's doing a real nice job for giving away that size. And whoa, there's some contact there. Had a boxing match a little bit there. Both of them rattled each other's cage on that one.
Referee Fred Schmidt will keep control of the match there and not let this one get away. 55 seconds left, first period.
Ooh, sounds like skulls cracked together right there.
Canales
is working on trying to put some pressure on the head, making Correa carry his weight.
Canales and Muskegon trying to come around to the side.
Yeah, up that headlock, there you go. Good position. He's actually doing a very nice job with getting good angles and good position against Correa. Depending on where he ends up that second period, he's going to feel the weight a little bit more if he's underneath.
Yes, Canales giving up some pounds here.
So if he's smart, it's his choice. He'll defer.
And the first period ends up scoreless.
Okay, what Canales has to be careful of here is the old heavyweight side roll. Because if he traps that wrist and rolls, Omar may have trouble.
Correa gets up to his feet and gets the 1-point escape.
Omar's not afraid to get in there and mix it up. He'll give it the best effort that he has. And he's trying to work for that leg snatch right now. Correa's trying to work for the slide by. Ooh, there's some contact. Omar's not afraid to mix it up.
No, he isn't. He is not backing away from this.
Now we're trying to get that underhook. Sprawl.
Now let's
Go around, go around. There's
gets him on
two.
his feet and comes around to the side, and it's a 2-point takedown.
It is.
And we have a timeout.
Yep. It's a 2-point takedown, and he's still now with an injury time. If he takes injury time. Okay, Omar needs to again try to ride those ankles, force the weight out on Korea's hands.
1:06 left to go here, second period. It's now 2-1 now.
Missed the ankle, got to drive it. There you go, drive it.
Picks up the ankle and pushes the head down, trying to control Korea here.
Oh no.
And a quick flip around, a 1-point escape, and we're tied at 2. 55 seconds left, second period. Canales controlling that left wrist, and now it reverses. Korea grabs a hold of him. Korea all of a sudden has a burst of energy here.
There it is.
And now Canales comes around from behind.
2. He's under the arms. He should have 2.
No
No call
points
by
as of
referee
yet.
Fred Schmidt.
25
Omar's
seconds left.
moving real well. He's got a lot of scrap in him.
We nearly lost our guy that calls the end of the period.
Yeah, he almost got crushed. I told him stay away from the edge of the mat. He thought
He was giving up almost 300 pounds.
Right, he would have been crushed like a bug.
3 seconds left. And there's the end of the second period. All the scoring so far in that second period, it's a 2-2 tie.
Ooh, I put him down. I put him down to get one escape. I don't think Korea could have held him down.
Pick the neutral position.
Yep. In normal time, I don't see that we're running the riding time clocks tonight, so they must have agreed not to do riding time. So, just of course, working on the head now and trying to snap Korea down and use his quickness to get around behind him for 2.
Minute 30 left. Korea
Sprawl.
leans down,
Yeah,
he's
put him
down to
down.
his base.
That's
Nice
the way he'll
sprawl.
score on him is to force that head down, jerk him to the mat.
Minute 19 left. Tied at 2. A little bit of a shock, but
There you go. Tried to slide by right there. Omar reacted to it. He's got pretty good reaction time. He's just got to snap Korea down one more time and spin behind the hips. I think if he can bring him down to his knees and snap him down to his knees. Oh, stepped on his
Korea
foot.
gets the 2-point takedown.
The old step on your foot trick. I think he just caught Omar, stepped on his foot and just drove into him. This is where Omar had trouble getting out from underneath all that beef.
30 seconds left. Korea gets that left arm behind the back.
Omar can't stay there. He's got to get up to his knees. There he goes. Way to fight out of it. Good job.
It's only 10 seconds left.
That's a good match by Omar Canales. He did a nice job, worked the head.
And there's the end of this match, this bout. A 4-2 win for Miguel Correa of Grand Valley State, and they get their first points. It's now 24-3 in favor of the Jayhawks. Now we shift down to the 125-pound weight class. Dakota Carey will be wrestling for the Jayhawks. He'll be wrestling Joe Stolp.
Grand Valley's Joel Stolp is from Michigan Center High School. He was a 2013 NCAA National Qualifier at 125. Dakota Carey is a transfer from Michigan State University, has a record of 7-7. Was first in the Mod Open. And now he's got in a nice single. He's got a circle, uses height to his advantage. Oh, he came back up the back and he shouldn't have done that. Got to squeeze it in, bring it in bounds.
Stolp countered with a whizzer, and so no points were awarded at the edge of the mat.
Yep. Carey's got to stay low on his leg when he gets in on that single. He's got to keep him down. He's got to snap him down now and try to get head trap with a front headlock and then circle on that front headlock.
There's a shot by Stolp. Shoots after that right leg of Carey. Carey shooting for the stalemate.
Got his hands, got to keep his hands locked tight in the crotch. Now he's going to come up above and get his two. Circle, circle, there it is.
And gets a 2-point takedown for Carey.
Carey will work for the wings, try and tie up the arms. Try to bar those arms up, try to get his legs in maybe and put in a power half.
He has control of Stolp's.
Work it up on the wrist. Arm. If he can weave the other arm underneath and tie that wrist up, he might be able to turn him for a couple points. There he goes. He's got to slide his left arm underneath his right arm, the other opponent's right arm, and then lock on that wrist.
Stolp trying to get away for the 1-point escape.
And Valley Coast getting a little excited here. Hook the heel. There he goes. Pop his head through. There you go.
Carey
good chain wrestling by Carey.
Continues to control Stolp. Now Stolp gets up to his base, sits out.
Carey trying.
And he gets the 1-point escape. 2-1.
Dakota was trying to work the snap back and he didn't put any pressure on him. He didn't pull him back, so he got his head caught.
There's a shot there by Carey attacking that left leg.
Circle off. There you go. Got to hook that heel again. He's got to. There it is. Now you got to pop his head out and he'll have his two. There's two.
And a 2-point takedown. And we come to the end of the first period. 2 takedowns there by Dakota Carey gives him a 4-1 lead here after 1.
He's got to ride tough here and break him down.
Stolp will start on the bottom, Carey on top. Jayhawks lead the match 24-3. Good tight waist by Carey.
Trying to bar that arm, trying to get that wrist back, get it under control. Carey's trying to put the legs in.
Sit out.
Again, he's just trying to float on him.
Stolp trying to get the escape, and has the 1-point escape.
4-2, we need another takedown here.
Working, 2-on-1.
Yep, he's working that 2-on-1, trying to jerk it down, trying to set up a single leg attack. There it is. Now he's got a circle.
Go off the edge. He'll start back at center with 1:11 left to go in the second period.
We need another offensive shot by Carey. He can't rest on the lead. He's got to try to hit that single leg again and split the legs and try to come up and out the back door with it.
There's the shot. Going after that right leg of Carey.
Carey has to use his leverage to his advantage now. He can't.
Stolp was in deep after that leg.
Carey's got to get back up on top, pull himself back up on the got to get those ankles and pull himself up.
20 seconds left, second period. Stolp just trying to lean back into him and try to get...
Carey's trying to come up now and hold his position.
And there's the end of the second period.
Dakota Carey survives. Got to get his hands moving, his feet moving a little bit more.
1 point escape was all the points there in the second period, so it's 4-2 Dakota Carey with a 2-point lead as we start the third and final
Get out
period.
now. He's got to get out and get to his feet and get on the offense.
There's a 1 point escape for Carey. Now a 3-point lead.
See, if he stays at that 2-on-1, attacks that leg, he'll be fine.
He's in deep on that.
Got to circle and cover the leg. Now he's got to get the outside ankle for 2.
Stolp trying to do the wizard, but there's a 2-point takedown for Dakota Carey.
Good. Now he's just got to ride tough on top, control the wrist, keep him broken down, and not get caught in that stalemate position again.
Minute 19 left in the match, a 7-2 lead.
Yep, he's got to stop him off the whistle, stop his first movement off the whistle, break him down, and try to control the wrists and arms. Now let's attack the wrist. When he reaches back inside, then Dakota's got to get on his wrists and control the arms.
Stolp up to his feet, brought right back down to the mat.
Tried to snap him down again and lost him.
1 point escape for Stolp. It's 7-3. 54 seconds left.
Carey's got to pick up his intensity a little bit here. He looks a little tired. He's got to get mentally strong again and get after the takedown. That's it. Go back to him. Carey needs to use that 2-on-1 so he controls the wrist and stops the shot by choke. Sprawl. Got to get his legs back, put some pressure on with his hips. Square on the ankle. Slide around behind him. Got to come up. There he goes.
And Carey comes away with a 2-point takedown.
Again, another nice scramble. He's just letting his opponent into his hips and move too deep. That looks like another solid win for the Jayhawks. Nice job on their feet.
And that'll do it. A 9-3 decision. Dakota Carey over Joe Stolp. 3 more points. And it's 27-3 Jayhawks. Move on to the 133-pound weight class. The Jayhawks will be forfeiting.
Will forfeit, yes.
Joe Montney will be here for Grand Valley, and that'll be 6 points. For the Lakers, we'll make it 27-9.
141 pounds for Muskegon will be Zach Cooper from Whitehall High School. Zach is ranked number 1 in the country at 141, has a record of 20-1. Won the Muskegon Open, won the Triton tournament, the Niagara tournament, finished 3rd in the nation last year at 133 pounds and was the Central District champion.
He'll be wrestling Robert Montney.
Robert's
Grand
from
Valley.
Caledonia High School in Caledonia, Michigan, and his junior and his 3rd year wrestling at Grand Valley State.
Montney,
He's in trouble.
oh boy, it looked like he was
Cooper's
shooting a
got his
single leg, and
cradle.
he ends up being a cradle for Cooper.
2 takedown, 3 near fall. Get over
There's
there,
another
Fred.
takedown.
See, they're out of bounds right now, and he can still score back points. He's still bridging, so he should be counting, make the count right now.
And another near fall.
Cooper chooses to go neutral.
9-2.
What's the need?
2 green down.
No, wipe it off.
9-2, 7-point lead.
Cooper will come back after a single leg again.
You can see why Zach is ranked number 1 in the nation. Very quick, very sure of himself.
Nice shuck.
And has plenty of moves.
Front headlock, shuck. Checks the clock. He's got time for his cradle. He's going to take it over the top again. I think he'll finish him off this time.
Has that cradle in tight. Plenty of time here in the first period. And there's the pin. The pin coming at a minute 26. And the Jayhawks finish off the Lakers with a 33-9 score.
Yep.
And we have one more match to go here.
An exhibition bout between Chris Root and Ben Wright from Grand Valley.
I'm impressed. I'm impressed with Zach Cooper.
He's pretty aggressive, and he's very tough on top. Whitehall High School.
Whitehall.
He was a 3 times high school state champion. Been wrestling a long time. He's very, very tough on top with his cradles.
Okay.
Chris Root's wrestling an exhibition bout against Grand Valley. Actually, he's moving up a weight again because he's weighs in at 149, and this guy's a 165-pounder. Right there, you can see a little bit of size difference.
Off the edge of the mat, Chris wrestled earlier and pinned his man at 508, 149-pound bout.
Sometimes Root has a bad habit of just diving at the ankle instead of setting up his shot. He's diving at the ankle. There it is, 2-on-1, go to the single. Gotta get that whizzer in, gotta get that whizzer in. There it is.
Shot by Wright.
Good whizzer by Root. He's gotta get in front of the hips. Whoever stepped in front of the hips that time would have got the takedown. So again, we're giving a little bit of size away here. You say we were 149.
Yes.
So we're gonna. He's got good height, good leverage. And again, he's the one that likes to slap that cradle on. So if he can get on top, we'll get that cradle. Grand Valley had a pretty solid lineup. They did a good job against the Jayhawks. We had a lot of close matches and very competitive situations. So
Yes.
with us bumping up a weight, it was a very competitive match. And a couple of matches could have gone either way at one point. And the Jayhawks were able to stay aggressive and continue to be on the offense and score the points when they needed to be scored.
There's a nice shot there.
He's got to get his head up now. He's got to get his head up off the mat. He's got to elevate the hips. Chris Root gets that low single, but then he keeps his forehead on the mat instead of elevating the head up in the crotch and making the turn back door. There's again, he's got to be careful about diving at the ankle. Again, I don't know, this young man might be a little too strong for that cradle. I hope that Chris can get on top and get that cross-face cradle in. It'll make a big difference. Again, here we want to work the head and get position.
Root trying to control the head. 30 seconds left in the first period.
Chris is doing a good job. He's very aggressive for us, and that's what we're looking for. Trying to move Cooper down to 133 and Sternberg down to 141 so that we can work into the lineup for the regional qualifier for the national tournament, which is February 15th down at Triton College in River Grove, Illinois. He's pretty long and rangy for a 149 pounder. He's
no points in the first period. Choose the down position. Wright will be on top.
I thought he might have taken a top position just to be able to put his cradle in. But that nice
right
switch.
for the switch, he gets a 2-point reversal.
Right for the cradle. And no. He's got to go the other way. You got to be careful about rolling it through.
Well, he pulled him that way.
He got away with it, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
As soon as I said that, he got away with it.
Puts the knee in the side.
Yep, he should be able to get his fall here. He's got to use that bottom knee that's on the mat to slide his hips away and put the weight on his shoulders. Right there is the 1 second fall.
And there's the pin. The fall coming at 3:36.
That'll be good for Chris Roy. It'll give him some more confidence and belief in his cradle. And nice match by the Jayhawks all the way up and down the line. If you want to give a quick summary on it.
The Jayhawks winning 33-9. If we want to go through the quick summary here.
Sure, go ahead.
All right, we started right out there at 149 pound in the actual match. Chris Root taking on Evan Space, and he pinned him in 5:08 after taking a quick 5-0 lead after. Then up 157 pound, Tyler Sternberg, his dad, who this event is named after. Wrestled very well, winning 8-4 over Bailey Bishop.
Bailey Bishop was a very strong contender at Grand Valley for their national club tournament.
165 pounds, Tobias Barnes winning a close 3-1 match over R.J. Smith.
Again, give away those size, but Tobias did a nice job on his feet, scoring on a takedown when he needed to.
174 pound weight class, Devon Jackson wrestling Trent Hunt of Grand Valley. And David Jackson showing his quickness. He was up 9-5. Then he reversed him in the third period and pinned him at 5:22.
Ron's done a good job for us this year. Of his 15, 16 wins, he's got 10 pins.
That made it 18-0. 184 pound weight class, Levante Purdue wrestling Eric Dietz. And Levante seemed to have the upper hand. Decision him 9-3.
Yeah, Levante real good on his feet, real good on the counter shots, the reshots.
Donovan Fouché at 197 for the Jayhawks. He had a 4-0 decision over Dan Tomasello. And made it 24-0. Then up in the upper weights at 285, Jayhawks had Omar Canales wrestling somebody much heavier, Korea. And it was a close match. It was 2-2 going into the last period. And then right at the very end, Korea got step on the foot.
Stepped on his toe and knocked him down. The old step on the heavyweight trick. Step on the toe and take him down.
That was the first points for the Lakers, being a 24-3. Then they shifted down to the lower weights, 125 pound weight class. Dakota Carey of Muskegon with a 93 decision over Joe Stahl.
Dakota did his job. He's just got to get a little better shape. He looked a little tired at the end.
Jayhawks did not have a wrestler at 133, so the forfeit went to Joe Motney of Grand Valley, making it 27-9. And then Zach Cooper showing why he's ranked #1 in the nation for the Jayhawks. He was all over Robert Motney. I ran out of room in the first period box, writing down all the points going in, and then he put it together and put the pin at 126 to make it 33-9.
Good job by the Jayhawks, getting warmed up for this weekend. We wrestle this weekend at home in a triple duel against Indiana Tech and NAI School and Alma College and Olivet College.
That'll be this Saturday. Again, we want to thank the MCC TV crew, Brighton Worrell and Cade Messenger, doing a great job there on the camera, giving you all those action shots here at Reese Puffer. Referee Fred Schmidt was right there making all the calls, doing a good job. And we want to thank you, the viewers, for watching tonight the second annual Rick Sternberg Memorial Scholarship Duel, a very worthy cause. Rick Sternberg passing away last year, and this goes towards a scholarship.
Scholarship for a Reese Puffer athlete.
For a Reese Puffer athlete.
A wrestler, hopefully, that will attend Muskegon Community College.
Fantastic. Well, for my partner, Ron Gaffner, this is John Arter saying so long, and thank you for joining us on Jayhawk Wrestling here on MCC TV.
Good job, John.
Good night, everybody.